Hey y'all, it's me, and this is a single mom unguided life where we talk about, or I don't know why I can't get this intro right, but where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between, and I take you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable. So today's a between video. What did I go over? No. So I just finished with dropping off my first shipped order of the year. And it was fairly easy. She was fairly nice. I don't know how much I'm gonna get this time around, but that's not this video for that. I just wanted to I hope y'all can hear me. It's so nice out. I hate to roll up my window and turn on my ear. So I hope it's not that much feedback. But so in between video today is my experience with co-parenting or not. So to give you a backstory of what's leading into this conversation is this is my son's last year of high school. I feel like it's very important for us to not only celebrate him and his accomplishments, because he definitely has been working very, very hard. And I want to make sure that I myself, as well as the sentiments of my family, want him to know that, you know, we won with him. We there with him. So a couple months back, I was speaking to my best friend, and she grew up in a one-parent household. And so I talked to her about her experience on the parent that was absent from the home. How did the parent that was in the home actually work with them? Well, not to get further into detail of her story, basically it wasn't a struggle in the beginning because, again, they were fairly young. It became a struggle. Oh no, how you driving with that windshield cracked? Well, you must not be going far because the police come catch you. Sorry. So she was saying that it was not hard for the parent in the household. It became hard when she became older and she wanted that relationship with the parent. And so she's always been like, you know, encourage the relationship between Papa and his dad. Encourage. And that's what I did. Never denied him any access to his child. But I did set boundaries in a way where I was not going to be the child sitting on the porch waiting for daddy to show up. Nope. You was going to be set in stone plans, and they were run by me completely before you even open your mouth to the child. So I wanted to finish this conversation about the reason why co-parenting doesn't work for my situation. Early on, my son's father did inform me that he will not be able to parent from afar. He was very, very wordy about this. And so I took it for face value. Though I did make multiple attempts to try to engage him into a lot of decision making in the raising and disciplining of our child, he pushed back. And it's very important that as single parents that we take the word of the other parent face value, because we will go years of developing these bitter feelings because the person told you who they were and you ignored it. So that was the indication early on that I would not be able to co-parent with him. Okay?
So I, through many of his actions, I determined that I didn't even want to go down that route. There was even an attempt to kidnap my son. Yes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're going to that much, like that, what's the word? I'm going to say that length of trouble, but I feel like that's the wrong wording. But you will go that far to attempt to parent a child. I, I, I just, I don't know. And it wasn't simply because he was being denied the child, because the child was able to visit him during his mini breaks like summer and Easter, so on and so forth. It was because he was adamant from the beginning that he couldn't parent from afar and he wanted the child in the home with him, which was not stable. He did not have any stability and currently still does not have any stability. But he wanted me to uproot a child and put it in a situation because that's how he grew up. And he thought that that was okay. Because in his eyes, he apparently turned out fine. Okay, so it's not a bashing session. So this attempt of kidnapping, this attempt of kidnapping was met with investigation because what happened was I allowed for my son to visit his dad on a one-way ticket. And I told him that school started one day, but then it had changed the day of school, so I needed him to return sooner. His dad got upset behind that. And I was like, I'm sorry, but this is what's going on. And he went as far as in trying to enroll my son into school. And the fact of the matter, he tried to deny it when there was a full-on like investigation. When I say full-on investigation, I mean they didn't call to the administrative office and spoke to the lady who spoke with him about retrieving the information needed to enroll the child. She was so nervous and she was like seriously upset that she got roped into this situation because from her end, she thinks she was doing a good thing. I had to fly across the country to retrieve my child. And unfortunately, the situation was that the two states, the one that we were in, living in, and the one that he actually was living in at the time, did not have any type of interstate regulations. So my order in this state did not apply to this state. So I had to just do I'm calling it a welfare check, but it was called something else, where they will knock on the door, they will present something to the individual or say something to the individual, and if they step out of the residence, they can enforce something. And that's what happened. He stepped out, and that led my son to step out, and then when he seen me, he ran to me. That's how I retrieved my child. So things like that put me on the defense of actually allowing him to make any major decision, because the decision he made to this decision was haphazardly. No child should have to experience that. Luckily, my son was so small, he didn't even notice what was going on. He just thought mama showed up to pick me up. That's all. He by no means didn't know what was going on at the time. I choose not to share certain things because I don't want his view of his dad to be muddy. If he asks me, I do speak on it, not in a negative way, in a way to inform him on what I was doing in the situation and why I was reacting a certain way. Early on, his dad used to say things to get reactions out of me, and they used to be the most horrible reactions ever. But as time went on, I started to take control of that situation by putting up boundaries, because I learned early on that whenever his dad was nice, it was because he wanted something in return. And so he thought that being nice to me or having these conversations and we just kikiing it, that in turn he'll be able to receive something from me, and not on a manner of anything relationship wise. It was at the benefit of him, and it always ended with either trying to figure out if the child can come live with him and or if he can be taken off of support. Now with the support situation, there's an order for medical and financial, and he does not adhere to it. That does not keep me from doing what I'm supposed to do. Because it's my son last year's school, I did reach out to him to see if he had any type of expectations or things that he wanted to do to, for my son. For our son. And it was like, so I told him what we were doing, like me and my family, his godparents, this is what we're doing, because this is what we usually do. Do you want to piggyback or you want to do it on your own? He chose to do it on his own, and I'm okay with that. That again, Wallace putting up everything that I'm doing for my son with the help of my family and my close friend, that is for them to indulge in. I'm not going to go over that wall to try to meet anyone on his side in any way, shape, or form, because he's taking the reign of whatever. It is what it is. So that's why co-parenting just didn't work for us. It's just any major decisions was met with haphazard actions that in the end could have been detrimental to the upbringing of my child. And I took his dad's word for face value. He didn't want to parent from afar. So the type of relationship that my son has with his dad is totally different with the type of relationship he has with me. I know that as we transition in our relationship that things will change. But right now, my focus is what's best for him only. And that's my agenda. So yeah. So co-parenting does not work for everyone. And when you realize that early on, you will decrease the stress and the headaches that come from being disappointed in individuals that just don't have the capacity to be there the way that they need to be there. So it's important that you get yourself together mentally, physically, and even spiritually to be able to take on double duty as a single parent. So I do thank you for watching today. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button, because I love talking about my experience. Even though it's late in the game, I still have a plethora of stories or experiences that I'd like to share with you guys. So go ahead and definitely hit that subscribe button so you can definitely see more content from me. Please share this with your family, friends, and co-workers, and leave in a comment below if you're currently in a successful co-parenting situation. Kudos to you. If not, your experience with it, because I love to hear everyone's perspective. Peace out.